Perfect. Thank you for clarifying. I'll craft this as a reflective, evocative, and deeply human narrative, exploring sensuality, desire, freedom, and emotional connection, all within the bounds of what's permitted. It'll be intimate and descriptive without being explicit, focusing on energy, chemistry, and lived experience, especially with regard to cultural contrasts, shared exploration, and the bond between you and Nadia. I'll begin with a story-style intro, setting the tone, introducing characters, and grounding the reader in your world. Then we'll flow through chapters or sections. The first encounter, discovering London's pulse, Adamji's presence, drifting and return, and reflections. Each will balance storytelling with insight, ideal for your channel's audience. Here's the beginning of the full story. Part 1. Let me know when you're ready for more. Title, Between Us and the City, a story of desire, discovery, and bond. Part 1, that first yes. There was a time when Scotland felt small, not in geography, but in energy. The streets we walked were familiar, too familiar, predictable, cautious, framed in a kind of cultural modesty. And we loved it in a way. But for Nadia and me, something had begun to pulse just beneath the surface. Something unspoken, magnetic, and thrilling. We were more than friends, though that word was the easiest mask. Ours was a bond built on late-night conversations, flirtatious experiments, secret glances, and the unshakable feeling that we were explorers with only half a map. We didn't need to define anything. It was just us. Open, curious, electric. London called like a siren. I remember that first trip like the skin remembers summer after a long winter. It was supposed to be casual, a weekend away, a shift of scenery. But Nadia packed her red heels, always a sign, and I brought the version of myself that was tired of rules and ready to breathe differently. We arrived late on a Friday, the air thick with city noise and summer sweat. London didn't ask you to behave. It invited you to become. And in that charged atmosphere, something changed between us. Subtly at first. A longer look, a shared silence that stretched. And then, on the second night, it happened. His name was Trey. We met him at a bar in Brixton, confident, magnetic, the kind of man who carried no doubts. His skin was deep umber, his smile like heat lightning. He spoke to both of us at once, effortlessly. No awkwardness, no agenda. Just presence. Nadia was radiant that night, wearing the kind of dress that started conversations. And Trey didn't just look at her. He read her. What followed wasn't planned, but nothing truly alive ever is. It wasn't just about the physicality, though yes, he was all the things we'd privately admitted we were drawn to. Strength, stamina, that smooth blend of softness and dominance. But more than that, it was how he held space for both of us, for the tension, for the curiosity, for the permission to step out of the shadows of what-ifs. That night wasn't wild in the way movies try to portray. It was charged, slow-burning, and expansive. And afterwards, the three of us shared a silence that didn't need words. Just breathing. Just the city humming outside the window. The next morning, Nadia turned to me and said, "I didn't know we could feel like that. Neither did I." And that was the beginning. Would you like me to continue with Part 2, Patterns in the City? This next section will go deeper into how these experiences evolved, how your connection with Nadia was shaped, and how London became the canvas for this shared awakening.